Hi everyone, I'm Sunshine Jackson. Thank you so much for joining me for the first installment of the Sunshine Sessions. With this installment, what we aim to do is to speak with people and talk to them about their passions, what makes them happy, what makes them tick, and hopefully we can inspire someone along the way. So, today's guest is
Hey.
Daryl Washington. Daryl, thank you so much for joining us.
Nice to meet you.
So, Daryl, tell us and tell everyone a little bit about what you do and why it makes you happy.
Well, I do a lot of things. Everything that I do is usually around the tech and whatever is modern, like or near the near future kind of stuff that people look forward. Like, hey, that's going to be the next big thing in the next 5-10 years. I like to get my hands on it quick and learn it and try to stay ahead of the curve. Yeah, and so yeah, just anything with computers, electronics, things like that.
Computers, electronics, what about IT? Would that
IT.
be included in?
Yeah, that's kind of like a subcategory of all that stuff. I'm just an all around. If it's in the computer industry, I like to do it all. I don't like to just focus on hardware, just focus on software, just focus on whatever. Because a lot of people, the majority of people in that, who have a hobby, interest in it, are just like that. And I literally do everything. And I got my own business and. What kind of own business? Like I work sometimes I don't because I don't really have to work too much because it's in order to maintain the same lifestyle that I did before I started it. I literally don't have to work a quarter to a third of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's very nice.
I know.
Very nice. Okay, so what would you say really fuels your passion about the tech industry?
It's what I've known my whole life. My first memories, I remember in the '80s, the late '80s, just like literally just the computer looked like it was massive and just kind of running, jumping like that. And I was able to start Windows 3 because it was Windows 3 in the late '80s they had, and my parents didn't know how to do it, but I don't know how I figured it out, but I knew how to get on there and type in what I need to type and it would run. And it helped me to learn to read very early, and I started, like, I built my first computer when I was 9. It's just so many things early. Anybody can learn this kind of stuff as early as they want. You just gotta just put them out there. You just gotta do it. Like I think, like children, very young children, my nieces and nephews, they're 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, seeing them do the same thing I did when I was younger, and I was like, yes. I try to tell everybody it's possible. No matter how young they are, you gotta get them started. They'll learn it.
Well, I know, like myself, I find it pretty intimidating, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too. So what advice would you give people like myself who may be interested in learning to do this type of thing, but find it very, very intimidating?
Well, I don't think anything should be intimidating. Like, people need to stop being scared of anything. Like I feel like I can do anything. After I left my former job of 12 years and went into the tech industry just on my own, just like literally day one, almost driving home from knowing that my long time job is gone, and I immediately feet on the ground running and was just making calls. I was pretty much already going in that direction. I was just too scared to quit my job. So it's just, you said what fuels my passion? It's just what I am. It's what I've always wanted to be. It's anything I've done before this, I would just feel like I was wasting my time, and I was just kind of frustrated with like life and stuff. And I feel like I think everybody should quit their job and really just follow your passion. And life is not hard. It shouldn't be hard. I don't think so. If you just got to do it. That's all I did. You just got to make that step and do it. You just got to follow your passion. You do your research. I think anything that people like, you can find a way to make money doing it. So,
Really?
something like that, yeah.
And that's very interesting advice. So you would literally advise people to quit their job and just follow their passion, or would you say to those people who are unhappy with their job?
Yeah, well, yeah. Staying at a job that you're unhappy with for so long, it wears on you. It screws you up. Mm-hmm. It took me to go to therapy to kind of rebound from that, because I knew 3 years before I quit my job, I needed to quit. And it was just everything was wrong, and it just always having these bad vibes. I remember hearing my brother-in-law tell my dad, back when I was, again, like in the 80s, like 1989, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and he told my dad, yo man, quit your job, go with me, let's go in this entrepreneurship kind of thing. And my dad never did. He was just too scared to do it. He ended up working to like 2010 and retiring with the injury and stuff, disability and stuff, because he just worked his body too hard over the years and had to quit. Well, my brother-in-law, if he's not a multi-millionaire or he's close to it, mm-hmm. but he, custom house, custom ranch built in, all this land. They have so much stuff. They go on vacations. My brother-in-law, my sister, like every couple of weeks, they're never in office. They've been set for life for like 20 years. They've been doing their thing. And my dad was like, man, I wish I would go back and take that opportunity. Yeah. And all that stuff stuck with me when I was younger. I was like, everything I kind of saw in their life, I was like, they've been so right about everything. And I just wanted to not make the same mistakes they made, and just kind of get on the, kind of get with it earlier. I didn't want to take too long.
So you would say that being around people who pretty much felt the same way when you were younger, it influenced you later to go down that path? Well,
actually, no, like none of my family members, and I don't really remember too many friends up until mm-hmm. later in life ever being into what I'm into. Mm-hmm. I just always follow what made me happy. I didn't really try to give a crap what other people thought. Mm-hmm. Just everything that I've liked, everything I just felt in here. Everything that made me happy in here, I did. I didn't let other people's judgment, other people's whatever affect anything that I do, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So maybe to a degree, that's everybody.
Yeah.
But mostly overall, just do whatever the hell makes you happy.
Yeah, that's wonderful advice. And you spoke of your former job. Do you mind telling us what it was that you used to do?
I was operations manager for FedEx Ground. Mm-hmm. Well, I started off at the bottom, and I worked my way up pretty quick.
You started at the bottom and got here.
Yeah, bottom up to middle management. Yeah. But my upper management hated my guts because I always make them look bad by, they wouldn't care. They were trying to make, a guy like me look bad over something they were careless about and they didn't care about. Mm-hmm. They would do that to everybody would just sit there and take it. And I was like, people don't really have to take that kind of stuff. Like, they literally have to have some major reason to fire you if they really want to do it. But yeah, they could make your life live in hell, but like, they were almost like, they were intimidated by me. My own boss was intimidated by me. He was like, oh, can you please do this, kind of like, just as if I'm allowed to say no or something. Just something crazy. Right. I'm like, come on, man, chill. Like, I don't know, they didn't have too many Narder brothers, I guess.
So let me ask you this though: as a black man in management, do you feel like that was harder for you, being pretty much in I would say a corporate environment? Yeah. Did they make it harder for you, or do you
absolutely.
Just okay?
I didn't like to really dwell on race so much, or play the race card. That's never been me. A lot of people always say, "Hey, you're like a white black guy, anyways, with the way you speak and the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, blah blah blah."
I hate that. Yeah.
And I just do not act ignorant. I do not like speak that way or associate with individuals like the way I carry myself with that style.
But even being well spoken, did you see a different level of treatment because you were black? And I know you don't want to play
slightly
hard, and that's good. I admire that about you. But a lot of times,
well, it's like black people get judged as a whole.
Yes,
so if no black person would screw up for a while, I was okay. But so I would try to keep the the ignorant ones, the niggas. Like I had a lot of control on who underneath me can kind of be at certain places, and I would try to keep the the ignorant people away from the higher up people, because that reflects on me, on who I allow to, some of these places. And if I hear any black people use an N-word or dress all baggy, like, I don't know who hired these people, but they gotta get their stuff together if they wanna.
So you felt a certain, if I'm understanding you correctly, you felt a certain amount of pressure because you were black and you had black employees. You felt a certain amount of pressure for every one of those employees to do the right thing. So you felt like it was a little bit, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you felt like it was a little bit more intense, or tense, I should say, for the black employees. Because did you feel like you always had to do the right thing, or you couldn't make a mistake?
I had to overcompensate that. I had to
compensate.
Yeah, overcompensate, like be extra, an extra good guy, an extra softy, at the really just. But still, people didn't really take my kindness for weakness, because I still was very authoritative and very, when I had to bring it out, bring it out. But I wouldn't be ghetto when I bring it out. I'd be like military drill sergeant-ish, because I used to be in the military. I know how to do. If I want to raise my voice and just get some bass behind it, I can do so. I was just, if I had to do it. So when it comes to like, I guess, ignorant black folks, which I'm rarely around, but at an environment like that, so I would.
And let's make it clear that Daryl knows, because we've talked about it, that ignorant people come in all races.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the pressure that was felt as a black man in a certain leadership position, and how you felt responsible for all black people, or like you were representing.
Yeah, so I'll try to make, other people who were ignorant and would judge black folks as a whole. If one black guy screwed up, then they just hate all black people. They're like, one time this black guy did this, so no, I don't mess with black people no more. Like, come on now. How many white people have done that to you, and then you just only dislike that one individual?
Right, yeah.
Right? They don't, it's like, just think about it.
Yeah,
so I had to try to catch myself too, when I was younger, doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I know the burden of being judged for the entire race. Right. So I get that. But, so how soon after, I should say, realizing that you were no longer happy with this position, how soon after that did you actually take action and start doing your own thing?
So yeah, after I got it, I was just kind of on cloud nine. I couldn't really see too much stuff was going on. But I remember after my second yearly performance review, that's when it started going downhill, because I would goof around a lot. I was like, it was like a locker room. There was every time we had like a chick manager or something, well, there was one real good one. She got promoted super quick and got promoted again, and she was just like blew past everybody, and she went to go run some place elsewhere, some other state. But generally, they would come and go, or they would be put in the easiest to run area and stuff like that. So there wasn't many females. One, maybe two at the most at a time, before they quit or something like that. But so it's like it was like a locker room kind of.
Like a good old boy.
Yeah, we were all. Yeah. And so we kid around a lot, and I was one of the biggest, goofballs. I was always hyper, always just pumped.
Okay. And so a locker room environment, not like a good old boy system. You're talking about the actual work environment. Okay.
Yeah. So we're always immature, crazy, and pulling pranks, and I'm always messing with people who want to come up. But I train a lot of people. I do it out of kind of love. I do it because it was done to me, and it made me a better person, because there's like a message, kind of like something to learn out of it. It wasn't just to be mean for no reason or evil. That's just stupid. That's just a waste of time for humanity as a whole. But so I remember my boss was like, and I scored. I tied with the highest. We were it's the highest you could score on the written tests or something. It's a 5, and I got 4.8. Tied at 4.8, and the dude. I know he cheated. He said he cheated, but it was funny. Anyways, that's beside the point. My boss told me in my letter, you're not getting a raise this year, which was the second year in a row I didn't get a raise, because, first of all, he said, you're highly skillful, you're this and that, never miss any day, blah, 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 but we don't think you take your job serious enough. So we're not giving you a raise. And that really just, a hard thing. I was like, of course I take my job serious, but from that point, I was just like, I just sat and thought. I just, for the first moment, I just shut my mouth. And I remember, like, finishing the day. I was kind of upset with myself, not like everybody else about what he said. But I was like, okay, I just thought for like a couple of days, really. And I felt like at the time the opportunity just fell out of nowhere into my lap, but it really didn't. I was kind of really going that direction anyways with finding work and computers, and because I was already doing it anyways, just as a hobby, and for family members and friends, they needed something done. I would literally have notes that I would go back and look at, like, oh crap, I thought about doing this long ago, but I didn't really remember. And I looking at all this old stuff, like I had it in my mind the whole time. I just didn't. I just had this thing in my way. Well, my main job, I was too comfortable with it. It was steady, and I didn't have nothing to really worry about. It was
good money, good pay.
Yeah.
And so this is interesting to me because you said that it was that incident that kind of
that's what
drove it
got the
home.
ball down the snowball down the mountain.
Which brings me to this question. So had that not happened, do you think you would have fallen into the comfort and the routine of your job and pretty much stayed?
Yeah. There was people that was there for 25, 30 years. I remember a couple of guys on their 15th and 20th anniversary. They get these rings, but I was at 12 years. I thought, well, I didn't really think too much about the future, except that I had these dreams and goals and stuff, but I could never get anything done. I would start stuff, never finish it. I knew that was a problem because I started losing friends, and most of my friends were online, and they would get so angry at me about never, like, we would just have all these ideas, these just like a lot of entertainment kind of stuff, but some business kind of stuff as well. And they noticed. It was like, man, you do, like, you start stuff, you never get stuff done. You don't want to do cool stuff anymore. We used to do all this stuff, and just where you been, man? Like what's going on? Like they just always get so agitated, and I start losing all my online friends, and I'm like, man, they're right, and I'm like, all this stuff's going on all at once, work, friends, and it just really just put me in a mindset that I remember that before my last day, I remember I was thinking of how to quit so I can do this other, because I already had gigs planned. I realized that I was like, I had that already planned, and then I start to remember, like, I was trying to figure out how to get over, how to quit. I was almost walked into my boss' office one time, but I was like, I don't know how to tell him, because he really made sure that I got to this point, and I just...
You felt a sense of obligation
to
him to stay.
I almost quit one time, and then he was like, he saw it coming, and he was like, almost like, no, please don't. Almost, it was just kind of funny. I don't know.
What was the incentive that he gave you to stay? Like, did he, at that point when he begged you to stay, did he give you a raise, or did he say you stay?
Okay, yeah. So those other guys around me who, I saw them do that. I saw them kind of like, man, I'm quitting this job. I don't want to be here. And they're getting like almost 20 to 30% more than me. They only have, it doesn't matter what you run around there. I was running the biggest area from when I started, and I was the second guy ever, other than my boss. My boss was the first guy to run the biggest area from your first, shot. They put you out there. They usually put people smaller, and but I was getting paid almost the least out of all the managers, but running the biggest area.
Wow.
So that really pissed me off, and so I kind of just put my skills to. I was doing something. The thing about me is like, okay, so I was kind of too pussy to quit, but I gave them a reason to terminate me. I was doing something that would definitely get me terminated, but I was just waiting for them to catch me because that's what I wanted. I just didn't want to quit.
You wanted okay.
For real, that's complicated. I know.
This is interesting. No, it's interesting, actually. So you did not want. You wanted to leave, but you didn't want to quit. So you felt like it would be easier if you got fired. Then you would have to leave.
Yeah, and I would leave like on a higher note with by getting more out of the company, because so many other people was doing it by faking injuries or doing whatever with their time. Like they didn't realize the potential. So I was doing some next level, but they never figured out exactly what I did. and I began to explain it to them, to try to tell, like, look, this kind of stuff is possible, and this is what I was doing. But they wouldn't let me finish, and I was like, okay, well, that's on them. They just kind of caught part of it, and they were thinking I was, I was like, I didn't even have to show up to work if I wanted to look like I got, whatever. I mean, it's possible if you know how to program and the rest of it, you can.
So
do
because
stuff.
of your skill with computers, you were able to.
Well, yeah. Well, at first it just made my job easier,
Okay.
so I can get more done in less time and get stuff done before I even get into work.
Right.
And look at all the surveillance cameras and see my area before I get there, so I know what I walk into. Just stuff like that. It was like extreme. It was crazy. It was, and it's not like I was trying to hack it. I had the capability before I became a manager. I just knew all that stuff was possible. I just like to tinker with everything. If I see a computer, I'd walk up to it, just figure things out, just see what happens, or think about. Okay, I know people who program, like they kind of do this kind of stuff, kind of go this workflow. They have a certain way of doing stuff, and I understand that. I'm like, well, they usually don't have a way of, like, there's ways of breaking programs and breaking programming to get unpredicted results to happen, and you can do that a lot with things like that to eventually figure out cool stuff and quote unquote be a hacker. That's what my hub manager said. You're a dangerous hacker. That's what it said in my final file and everything.
No.
The final phone call.
And that's what got you terminated.
Yeah.
They labeled you as
I was a dangerous hacker. And I was like, if I was a dangerous hacker, yeah, I could have caused $500,000 worth of damage in a single day if I wanted to. That's what they were scared of. They're scared that someday I'll go. Like, I'm not evil. I would never do that.
Yeah.
If
because you were just looking for a way to get terminated. Right?
Well, yeah, and like I said, I'm mostly just making my own job easier by getting more done.
Right. Yeah.
But seeing all these other people not pulling their weight and getting all this out of the company, and no one ever does anything, I was like, well, I joined the club. I do not care anymore. I finally quit caring.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
But your initial reason for doing it was to make your job easier.
Yeah, for good stuff. And
but you knew, you just knew that it would also get you terminated, which I guess would eliminate the need for you to have the conversation, I quit conversation, which is kind of hard for you to do. So another thing I found interesting about what you were telling me is that therapy helped you on your path to self-employment. I find it interesting because a lot of us, well, I won't say a lot of us, but the idea, the perception is that as African American or Black people that we don't really believe in therapy or it's not effective.
Exactly.
So tell me how therapy helped you get to that place.
Just like you said, I was thinking, like, why the hell do I need therapy? That just makes no sense. That's not going to do anything, or it's it's everything stupid, just everything stereotypical you think individuals will say. So I wanted Adderall really bad because in the direction I was going, all the other nerd people, I say nerd people, geeks, they weren't necessarily nerds. Nerds are coming in all shapes and sizes nowadays. They all go to the gym too. But
right, do you consider yourself a nerd or a geek, or are you self-proclaimed nerd?
I don't know. Like I don't really like labels, but I'm a mixture of like a nerd, a jock, I guess, or a gym rat. I don't know.
Yeah, you are.
I'm myself.
Right. Yeah, you're yourself, and that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. But so your therapy.
Okay, so yeah, I wanted Adderall, and because when I started having side gigs, and that's another thing too. I was like, oh yeah, I was working here and there, doing these little gigs locally in the area, in the audio-visual equipment tech, in computer industry, setting up events and stuff. So the other employees, the other guys, I always see them, pop. So I was like, what are you guys popping on? I said, yeah, it's Adderall. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I kind of heard a little bit about it. It makes you more focused. A lot of gamers in the gamer league competition, the ones they be making $100,000, $500,000, $1 million in these tournaments and stuff. And Adderall is banned because it makes you too good. It makes you too focused too. And I was like, oh, like hell.
Right.
I was with that stuff.
And we're not endorsing any
You're not
medications or anything here. Yeah. Well, I'm not.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, I did my research a little bit. I heard a lot about it. I remember hearing it as a kid and hearing other kids, being on it. thought it was for people for hyper attention deficit disorder kind of stuff.
Okay.
I was like, but if it makes you focus, then I want it. And I
And
saw
did it help you?
yeah. Well, so I googled how do you get Adderall. They say, well, you need to go see a therapist if you want to get Adderall because therapists prescribe them generally. I'm like, oh, okay. So using my work insurance, I got an appointment. I wanted to just BS through it because usually doctors will give you what you want. If you they just because if they keep giving you what you want, you keep coming back and they'll keep getting their money. So that's how things usually work. That's how I figure out things. So, but they didn't do that. Like they were very serious. So I remember I had to take this 100-question test. First getting there, all kinds of psychic evaluations, and then so they kind of I really didn't want to get therapied or go to that talk, but he kind of slid it in he could just they're real good at what they do, and this guy I felt real comfortable with him because he was a brother, very well dressed, educated, well spoken. It's all out of myself, and it's all how I want it to be, kind of more. So I instantly just felt comfortable, and he made me realize a lot of stuff. He just started talking, and just the questions he asked, the way, all this, it just everything. I don't know how they do it, but that first session, it was just amazing. It just opened my eyes and just realized a lot of my own faults and how I would always think I know everything, I'm perfect, blah blah blah. How a lot of humanities like that, being into mainstream science and not religious and just being all I know everything. You're all stupid if you believe in this and that, and very judgmental. I always talked about I was open-minded, but I never really was open-minded. I was closed-minded. I was closed. I was terrible to my family too. I never helped out. It was like I had all these resources and I was doing so well, and I would never help people out anymore because of how early in my life was. So it helped me open up, helped me just care more, helped me want to be the hero.
Wow.
Yeah, it really, and that was just from the first one. It was cool. And maybe after a few months, I finally got the Adderall from him. But that was after I told him, well, I had a friend who, they had it and they quit taking it and they gave me their bottle. So I was like, okay, cool. And it was what I needed. It helped me start doing my projects again and get my friends back and stuff, and start working. So I was just doing so much, so focused. Finally, after 5 years of not doing anything I feel productive or creative, that got me back on the train again, and and that's around the time I left my. I feel like I left it because I could have fought my job. I could have covered up what I did. Because I covered it one time before, but I instead of covering up, I fessed up and I let them fire me because I wanted to go.
Because you were ready to go.
Yeah.
You were ready to go. So how would you say your life has been after, or I should say
after
since,
corporate America?
Yeah, since
Since
corporate America and being your own boss and just doing your own thing. You're living your passion. How has that been for you?
I have much bigger dreams.
Okay.
So what I'm doing now, I'm working on the biggest project I ever worked on. I started thinking what makes people a good amount of money with almost not necessarily minimum effort, but it's definitely maximum skill. People that usually companies that usually blow up, they're usually the middleman. They usually provide a service that helps other individuals make money because everybody wants to make money. So if you help other people make money kind of easily, you kind of do the hard part, kind of get the all this stuff set up so they don't have to go through all these loops, so they can start right away to producing whatever. I was like, that's how a lot of people make money. I just started to I go to deep thought all the time, and I try to figure out everything on a very deep level, and that's one thing I realized. I need to provide a service. I need to be the middleman. I need to do everything on my own. I need to create my own thing and do it all myself, and whatever I need to learn it and master it, make it happen. And I just pretty much have to finish this because I was already finishing some stuff because I had what I need to kind of give me a kickstart. I don't need it anymore, but it gives that kickstart that, so I'm soon to be done with it. But over the past 2 years, I've been, working here and there. I really don't have to work that often. Like I said earlier, to maintain the same lifestyle that I had before, I just work a quarter of the time than I normally would.
And do you do like consulting or IT work? Or,
Yeah. I tutor as well. I pretty much say, hey, I do all this stuff. I got like a list and it's just pretty much everything, etc. And I try not to. I don't really deny much thing. I get calls. They say, hey, can you do this? And 99 times out of 100, I say yes. Except for dealing with Max. I tried twice. I said I failed. That's the only time I ever failed at my job. Dealing with Max.
So if someone wanted to contact you for your services, how would they reach you? Do you want to give that information?
If they're locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Okay.
Well, is there a way to put the number on the screen?
Yeah, we'll put Daryl's information up later, his contact information if you need him for some consulting services or IT.
And if you're not in the DFW, you can do like remote. They got like remote remote desktop. You can be like a team, like TeamViewer, Skype. You can remotely troubleshoot and fix someone's PC from anywhere in the world. Become the web design and web programming. That's with the big thing coming up. I'm a programmer. That's that's the meat of what I do.
That's the meat of what you do, programming. So one of the reasons I started this was to pretty much inspire people to live their best lives, whatever that definition is for
become the best version of yourself is what I say.
So what advice would you give people who are looking to live their best lives, or maybe who are afraid to take that extra step, or that final step? What would you say?
With me, I just never understood how anybody could be scared or care of other people's what they thought, their judgments. Like, just do what makes you happy. Don't worry about what so and so say. They say life is short. I don't think life is short. I don't know. It don't seem short to me, but I'm saying, like you can't waste time. You gotta and be smart. You gotta use common sense. Don't I don't even know where to begin. There's too many things, too many factors. Don't repeat the same mistakes you see other people do, expecting a different result. If you're doing the same thing, that's a lot of it has to do with common sense. And just a lot of research. Do a lot of your own like digging. Do a lot of your own investigating. There's a lot of misinformation about nearly everything out there, and you gotta. People say life is hard. Life is not hard. Life is not difficult. They're just putting you in a mind prison and making you fail before you even started. It's one of the easiest things I've ever done. I'd say literally easier than filling out an application and going over for corporate America. Just by being motivated and just knowing by years and years and years of practicing my craft. I didn't need school because I just did it my whole life. I just know what I'm doing. There's nothing they can teach me that will, well, it probably is. I just don't know, but I highly doubt because, I would see a lot of these guys who got all this school, certifications or whatever, and they get put on the spot on the first day and they just don't know what the hell they're doing, where to start, because we call them paper techs. But it's like 90% of what you learn is hands-on on the job. You need to do it. You can't learn too much in the classroom. Even with the military, that's what they said. That was one saying. And with corporate jobs, same thing they said. They say it everywhere. Everywhere if I worked, the military they say 95 or 100, depending on what they want to say that day. But they say 90% of what you learn is hands-on doing it. Just being thrown out there and doing it.
And so that would be your advice. Just do
it. Just do it.
Living your dream. Just do it.
Yeah, just
don't let the fear stop you.
Yeah, you shouldn't have any fear. You should have love and excitement whenever it comes to this stuff. Because that's what I do. I wake up with a smile every day. It just, the entire, just everything about my environment, just due to my freaking resonance of my love that emits from my body or something. I just feel it all over, and it's amazing.
Well, that's wonderful. Daryl Washington, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I am Sunshine Jackson. This is the Sunshine Sessions. If you like what you saw, please hit the like and the subscribe button, and we hope to see you next time. Remember, have a purpose-filled day. Bye-bye. All right.